want to thank you for tuning in this week to our The Other Service Weekly Update, as we week by week tell you what's going on in the other service at Brushy Creek. This past week, if you were here, you saw us kick off a new series called Revolution, and we began by talking about how every revolution has someone who leads it. We called him a radical. Jesus is the radical that leads the revolution of God. The revolution of God is the gospel. It's the story in which mankind is repulsive and messed up before holy God, and God comes down to them. God comes down to us, to mankind. He sends His Son to fix us. We are dirty, repulsive sinners. God sends His Son, this radical, to lead a new way. There's no more sacrifices, as we see in the Old Testament. There's no more offerings. It's us. We are the offering to this radical. He says, hey, I want you to give me your life. But that required Jesus to give His life. He actually said that He would tear down the temple, and in 3 days He would raise it up, talking about His literal body. So the gospel revolution is us believing that Jesus is the temple, that He is the sacrifice, and now we offer our lives over to Him in order to have true life. And that's what we'll talk about this week. We'll talk about the requirements of the revolution. What does this radical want us to do? You know, throughout my life, I think about different things that are required. I played high school sports, so there was different things that were required of athletes. It included what you did on the field, but what you also did off the field. You had to keep your grades up. You had to do certain things. I think about requirements for getting through college. Certain papers had to be done a certain way. You had to follow the formatting issues. In order to get through classes, you had to pass all the tests, all the exams. So those were the requirements. Every single one of us that works, we have requirements to get a paycheck. We have to do certain things week in and week out in order to earn that money that our boss or our superior pays us. So as we go throughout life, I think many of us want to know, hey, what's expected of me? Well, Jesus lays it out, and we're going to talk about that this week. Jesus lays it out very simply. He says, hey, I want you to take up your cross daily. Just like me, just as I died on the cross, I want you to be willing to die with me every single day by taking up your cross. Well, then he takes it a step further and says he wants us to deny ourselves, deny all of our own ambitions, deny all of our own wants, all of our own needs in order to serve Him. Then finally he says, follow me. Then he concludes what we're going to talk about this week with saying, hey, when it comes down to it, you better not deny me before man. You better not deny me on planet Earth, because when it comes time for you to be in heaven and you're standing before me and the Father, if you deny me on earth, then I'll deny you before the Father. So this week we're going to talk about the incredible requirements that goes along with following this radical. It's going to be very encouraging because we're going to lay out, hey, what do I have to do? What does it truly mean to follow Jesus? So I hope you'll be here this Sunday as we talk about the requirements. I want to go ahead and give you a heads up about next Sunday, April the 1st, which we'll be talking about the reality of it, the reality of the revolution. But that's also a big day for us because it's Palm Sunday, so we'll be talking about that as well. And we got a very important goal that we're trying to reach as a service, as a community of believers. We're throwing it out there. We want to have 200 worshipers with us on April 1st and on April 8th as we celebrate Jesus' resurrection for Easter Sunday. So hope to see you this Sunday as we talk about the requirements. Hope to see you next Sunday, April the 1st, as we will try to pack out the room as big as possible, have 200 worshipers in there with us, and then again on Easter Sunday the following week as we celebrate the resurrection, and again looking to have 200 people with us that day. So we hope to see you Sunday. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you then.